So Darren, it's lovely to have you at the Academy of Global Governance at the European University Institute. Can I ask you what will be, in your view, the effects of gender quotas at the corporate level that we see more and more countries adopting?
So the study that I did, which I'm sharing here at the executive training, is really provides some evidence within the French context that the effects are really split, so that within the process of the corporate board, that there is a difference that results from having women present in the conversations and the deliberations within the corporate board context. But that ultimately, when men and women in the boardroom make decisions, that their sex does not play a role. And the evidence that comes out of my study suggests that, and one of the things that I pull from that as a conclusion is that with regard to corporate governance itself, I don't expect a major shift as a result of the inclusion of women. Now, whether that is a point that should advocate for or against the adoption of quotas, I think is an entirely separate question.
If I can
and a fascinating one.
If I can press you
yes,
on that.
Please.
How is it possible? You're saying that the procedural way, the way
yes.
discussions take place, the items that get taken on, the way, if there is change at that level, wouldn't you expect at some point, maybe down the road, that there might be change at the substantive level in terms of the decisions that are taken or the institutional culture of the company?
I do think in the long term, it probably will have an impact. So if we take, for an example, a board that's deliberating over a certain issue, if the deliberations are more methodical, as some of my interviewees suggested, then it might be the case that the board might pose more challenging questions to the executive. But the challenge here is that this shift, the inclusion of women on the boards, is taking place at the same time that there are other non-gender related shifts going on in boards in terms of corporate governance generally. So I think it's also worth noting that it may be hard to detect whether boards are more assertive vis-a-vis the executive because there are women or because societies expect boards to play a more active role.
Okay.
But certainly that is a possibility. Another possibility as an outcome is that one of the central roles that boards play is selecting the executives. And if, let's say, we have a board of 10 people and 4 of those people are women, it is possible that it's more likely that that group will select a woman to lead the company. And that would be an actual change, because really there are extraordinarily few women in executive positions.
Thank you, Darren. One more question. What do you take from the methodology that we have operated for the executive training?
Well, I think the thing that is really inspiring about the methodology that you and the other organizers have chosen is the inclusion and integration of corporate board quotas and political quotas, both of which I personally have studied, but that I think are really interrelated remedies to gender inequality that need to be considered jointly. And the interaction within the collective conversation on these 2 points, I think, has been really fruitful.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.